regular scheduled Portland City Council meeting in the Linda Hart Lodge Council Chambers. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, large prayer, and a moment of silence for those serving and protecting us.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father,
Who art in heaven,
hallowed be
thy
thy name.
name, thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman. Present. Margaret Phillips. Here. Richard Morgan.
I'm here.
Kelly Gagel. Here. Pat Hovis. Here. Jerry Trolley.
Present.
Kathy King.
Here. Thank you. Council, you previously received the May 9, 2023 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move to approve the minutes from May 9th.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Troy. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Troy to approve the May 9, 2023 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The minutes are approved. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comment. Move on to executive officers' reports. Council, there are three new ordinances, well, one new ordinance and two resolutions on the agenda tonight. Ordinance 1623 can go to full three reads. Resolution 23-6 and 23-7. Administration has asked that they be passed on the first reading due to a time-sensitive nature, and I'm sure when we get to that point, Mr. Vila will just have a little more explanation about that. This weekend is the Walleye Festival. Hope everyone has a good holiday weekend. That's all I have. Move on to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, members of council. I hope you had a good week. We had an excellent week. We'll get into that a little bit later in the discussion. Last Wednesday, the Port Clinton Kiwanis Club held their annual Law Enforcement Day. Two individuals, one from the Sheriff's Office and one from the Port Clinton Police Department, were recognized as being the Officer and Deputy of the Year as voted upon by their co-workers in their respective departments. Robert Russell was announced as Deputy of the Year, and for the third time in his career, Ralph Edmonds was given the award from the Port Clinton Police Department. So if you see those gentlemen around town, please give them the congratulations that they well deserve. Just a reminder to everyone, not only in this room but around town, keeping an eye out on living room lawns. Don't put furniture or other items on your boulevard. Make sure you contact Republic Services for a proper pickup. Grass holes, again, we're on the cusp of a multi-million-dollar infrastructure project. Please do not mow grass clippings into the street. Remember to register your garage sales. They will go over all the rules where not to put signs. And grass season is upon us. Weeds and grass are growing rapidly. At last count, 36 properties within the city of Port Clinton have been notified. I would say a good number of them, I don't know off the top of my head, a good number of them have addressed the issue. The city has addressed at least one, and we'll get to the rest of them after the holiday weekend, trying to catch up from that. Reminder to those in the community that have deduct meters, now is the time to bring those deducting meters into the water office for the start of the season reading. Don't use the meter until the reading has been recorded in the water office. Some dates to keep in mind: the week of June 5th, the lights will go out north of the drawbridge. The street lights will go out north of the drawbridge from one end of the city to the other in preparation of the mayflies. Also that same week at some point, City Council approved the lease agreement for a kayak and beach toy rental establishment to go on the high ground. That container will be placed at the high ground again the week of June 5th. Lots of things happening around town this coming week. This Wednesday, the flags will go along Perry Street. That group will come out on Wednesday. Thursday is the kickoff of the district, formerly known as MOM. It's also the kickoff for the Walleye Festival, as well as the art walks will begin in downtown Port Clinton. And then Friday is the start of Ohio Bike Week that runs from Friday until June 4th. So be mindful of the additional motorcycles that will be in our community. Now the big news. Last Friday, Mr. Colston, Mr. Peterson, myself, drove over to Bowling Green. Mr. Belo called in remotely. We had a multi-hour meeting with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This is to talk about our infrastructure project. As a refresher, there are multiple phases of this project. Each phase has its own funding or multiple funding sources. But then once they're all done, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is going to come in, write one big loan that will have one payment source. So they have been in the process of reviewing not only the water, sewer, the Plan B portion of this project, but the Plan A portion as well. Although we don't have any word yet back from the USDA on the Plan A, I can tell you that with the Plan B portion, the city will receive at a very, very reasonable interest rate a $8.703 million loan and, write this one down, a $10.153 million grant. Grant. $10.153 million grant as part of the below ground infrastructure work. Mary Carr from the Northwest Ohio region of the U.S. Department of Agriculture worked very, very hard to get this. Mr. Belo, Mr. Colston provided reams of information to the Department of Agriculture to make this happen. Because of increased interest rates over the past couple of years, because of inflation the past couple of years, that 10 point whatever million dollars is going to go a long way. It would have been very, very difficult for us to do this project without that because of those two factors we talked about earlier. The two pieces, the two resolutions you see in front of you are allowing us to accept these terms. Mr. Belo will go over this in a little bit greater detail. We were hoping that by today we would have a little bit more information on the A part, which again is the part we want to get started on sooner rather than later. We did not hear from the U.S. Department of Agriculture today. I wish I could give you a time. I can't at this moment, but it's good news. We aren't expecting that big of a grant on the road part, the A part, by any means. But all in all, the numbers are working out great for us. And before you or anyone in the community asks, am I going to get my $12.50 back? No, you're not. Again, these numbers allow us to do the project as we see now. Plus, it's an ongoing phase. Again, it's a $150 million need. This is only a $30-some million project. So there's still a lot more work to do in the future. And I'll turn it over to these two gentlemen if I neglected to mention anything. You want to add anything?
I think Gabe will finish that part up as far as the financing.
Does anyone have any questions on that part of the? Yes, sir.
Was that $10 million grant, which congratulations to the people that put that together, thank you. A lot of the grants are matching or do we have to do anything?
No, that's where the grant versus the loan, Jerry. So they divide it out where you have the loan, obviously you're paying back in the grant you don't.
Right.
So that's how it works with this.
Okay. Well, congratulations, thank you.
Good for the city all around.
Yep.
Was that a big surprise?
We had always heard that for a project like this, 30 to 35% is the norm. If you do the math real quickly, this is over 50%. If you look at everything, A, B, the revetment, the lead service, the road reconstruction, if the numbers fall where we think it falls in that 35% range. So for this particular case, it was a big shock because, hey, it's a little bit more than 50% of the need, but in the big picture, it's going to fall in that, what we had anticipated.
I mean, it's $10 million. Of
10 million, yeah.
It's good, very good.
And unless no one has any questions further on that, I do have one final thing. I just want to introduce everyone to Boone. Boone is one of in my daytime job, one of 3 J1 exchange students currently here. By the end of June, we'll have a total of 5. Boone is from Thailand. Thailand is still a monarchy, so this whole idea of a public meeting. She asked me on the way here, is this meeting open to the public? And we talked about the cameras and the media and all that fun stuff. In Thailand, they do have an elected parliament, but they still have a king. And if the king doesn't like the law, if the king doesn't like the outcome of an election, he's not going to authorize it.
Well, so
Yeah. So, Boone, and by the way, Boone, I've been doing this since 1999. Boone is one of the top 3 English speakers we've ever had. She's wonderful. She is studying lifelong education in English back home. Is there anything you wanted to say? You'll be recorded in the minutes forever.
I would like to say that thank you for you all. Like, I'm so excited that I'm here, and I'm so glad that I'm one of J1 students in USA. Like, it's like my dream. And Port Clinton City is very nice place, nice people, and it's wonderful for me. I like to explore with him. I always like, oh my God, everything here is nice. People, places, and thank you for, you are the part that make this happen, that I and everyone can live in the safe place. Tourists come to enjoy in Port Clinton. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And what she said to me the other day as we were driving around going to a restaurant, she elbowed me and said, do you know anybody that can fix these streets?
Oh, jeez.
With that, Madam President, that concludes my report. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you. And we'll move on to the auditor's report. Mr. Belo.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, before you is Resolution 23-6 and 23-7. As Mrs. Sardi had stated, I did pass to Mrs. Hovis just a simple amendment to both of those, just needed to add some language around the Ohio Revised Code. So please accept the amendment and please pass these tonight. In there are the numbers that the mayor described. On the first page is the loan amount for both of the projects. On the second page, right above in bold print, Safety Service Director, is the grant amount, which is essentially $3. There's no repayment terms for that, so it's forgiven. And it's in the form of a federal grant. So the sewer grant was outsized from what we had expected. It was the same amount that I think I gave you a preview of 1 or 2 council meetings ago, that ideally this is what financing will be available, a mixture of loan and grants that we're going to be paying back, the loan portion, from the infrastructure fee, the water and sewer impact fee that everyone's been paying on their recurring water bills. The grant amount keeps it so that, as I said before, the infrastructure fee will be able to meet all of our debt obligations when those loans come due. So we'll have estimated annual payments for both the water and sewer, and the $12.50 will cover that going forward, which is great. We anticipate no grant dollars for the road. I think I indicated at the same time I made my previous comments about meeting the debt obligations for the water and sewer portion. We will be a little bit short with the road levy funds, assuming that collections from the county disbursements to the city remain about the same, but we'll have a bank build up by the time that all that comes due. So it'll be something to address, but it won't be significant that would require council action. So the financial stack for the project looks very good. So I think the last thing we're waiting on was for USDA's national office to approve that over $6 million grant for the sewer project, which is more than the loan portion, which is significant. So that was a great win, and I know some of our federal elected officials played a role in seeing that happens. So please pass these tonight. We will have another one for the road loan portion. It's possible that we may ask the mayor, the president of council, to call a special meeting before the next scheduled council meeting, just to pass that to expedite. It's just a resolution. Council's already passed all necessary ordinances. This is just necessary paperwork that the USDA needs to further process both the projects and the financial round. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that.
Does anyone from council have a question for Mr. Belo?
For these,
Yes.
and I'm sorry if you went over this, for the amount on the first page in line 17, is this difference amount, and the difference in amounts.
So the first, resolution 23-6 is the sewer project, which is separate from the water project in 23, and resolution 23-7, so both of those have different costs and the financials are different. Is that what you're asking?
So the number on the first page that's written, and then the line 17 on the same resolution.
Yeah.
With the grant amount, I guess what are the difference in those two numbers? They're different. So like 23-6, it says $3,814,000, and then it goes to $6 million on line 17.
Yeah, the $6 million is a grant that we'll
Okay.
never have to pay back. The amount on the first page is the loan that we'll.
Got it, okay.
That we will have to do.
If I could, when I gave my $10 million, that's both water and sewer. What you have is broken down. And during one of the council meetings in the past, I talked about, I think it was with the Corps of Engineers, that whenever they give you money, there's strings attached. Well, this is the strings attached
Oh, my God.
for just the water. This is the strings attached for just the sewer. So, but it's all good stuff.
I can also tell you, in case anyone's curious, the interest rate that was obligated by the USDA for both water and sewer rates will be 2.25%. When we come to closing, if they're able to offer a lower amount, we'll be able to take advantage of that, but they'll be capped at the 2.25%.
No questions, Mr. Trolley?
No, I'm good right now. I will have some.
I'm sure you will. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Velo.
Thank you for your time.
We'll move on to the treasurer's report.
All right, well, while I wasn't able to generate $10.1 million in revenue, I didn't plunge us into $8.6 million in debt either. So, through collections to this year, we have $29,272.03 in the bed tax and $11,498.57 in the dock tax, so far.
Thank you. Council, have any questions for the treasurer? Okay. Move on to the law director's report.
I do not have anything tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the supervisor's report. Mr. Golston.
Nothing really tonight unless people have questions. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy all the festivities going around, please.
Mr. Colston,
Yes, ma'am.
the route for the parade, is it the old route down Madison to
It'll come,
Second?
yeah, they'll start basically at the, I won't say courthouse, but ICS. They come down Madison to Jefferson, or excuse me, Madison to Second, then to Jefferson, and then back to the high school.
Thank you.
And remember, there's a race, Sunday morning's the race. Monday morning is the Veterans Parade. I don't think we brought that up, but that's Monday morning also, end up at Veterans Park. So those are very important things. I think if people can show up, that'd be wonderful. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Did the railroad update us at all about the 3rd Street viaduct?
Railroad today, I got a call that they didn't remove the stone for sure on the east side. So the west side, I'm sure they're doing as we speak, and it will be open for the weekend.
Nice. Thank you.
And just one thing I will add, with downtown, you'll see the rocks that are on the sidewalks. That is to protect everybody up there from any cars being able to drive down that way. So I wanted to make sure, right now that's the way I have to do it. We'll try to figure something as we move forward. But we have to have it, obviously I have to leave for wheelchairs, and there was actually some kids in wheelchairs today, and I checked with them and they were fine the way things were set up to get through. So just so you know that if anybody asks.
Is that new?
Yeah, there'll be some other changes with some of the festivals and things we have with all the problems that are going on in the world and stuff.
Right.
So
Makes
the
sense.
police chief and fire chief and I have had many discussions on that, so we are protecting, and I feel very good about how we have it for now. We can't be 100%, obviously, you know that, but
No, we can't.
we've done our due diligence on that, and so that's where we're at. So thank you.
Okay, move on to committee reports. Mrs. Hovis, Finance.
There will not be a meeting on June 13th.
Environment and Public Works, Mr. Trolley.
And I ditto that. I will probably be on vacation. I'll let you No, sure.
Okay. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. We have nothing that we need to take care of, so we will not have a meeting on the second Tuesday of next month unless something comes up.
Okay, thank you. Economic and Community Development, Mrs. Hill.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Okay, move on to correspondence. Council, this evening on correspondence that you previously received copies of, we have the Architectural Review Board of April 13, 2023 minutes, Architectural Review Board of April 25, 2023 minutes, Port Clinton Planning Commission, March 23, 2023 minutes, Finance Committee meeting minutes of May 9, 2023, and Economic Development Transfer Form, Gristmill LLC. Does council wish to take any action as to the correspondence this evening?
Madam President, can someone explain what's going on with the gristmill?
I sure can. So the gristmill has a license, like most of the places downtown from the revitalization area, and they have to have 75% food. Getting a different license, they do not have to have the 75% food. So they purchased a license, I believe from Southern Ohio, it does say on there, Dino or something it was called, where they got their license from. So you're basically just approving that license like you do every other one that say, we're not objecting to anything for them to get the license. Somebody on council, either Mrs. Sardi, the mayor, or Sandy has to sign that, or the law director. It's not my signature on this one. The chief of police has already signed it and it's already set. So that's where we're at.
Madam President, I also would, before we accept the correspondence, I appreciate getting these copies early because I actually do read what's going on, and it's kind of interesting to find all the extra little items that are happening that we may not take a good look at while we're just walking down the street or whatever. But I would like to endorse, accept the correspondence for this evening, please.
Should we treat this economic development transfer like a liquor license as we've done in the past?
That's what I assumed, but
Yeah.
So we'll need,
Mrs. Shanker, am I correct in that assessment per our conversation?
Yes, it's in the license.
Okay.
so I believe that needs to be approved separately.
Yeah.
I move that we waive our right to a hearing for the economic development transfer form for the Gristmill LLC.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Okay. So, any further discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mrs. Horvath to waive a hearing in reference to the economic development transfer form for the Gristmill. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Jerry Turley,
No.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Kelly Gagel,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yeah.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 6-1. The transfer for the council is approved. Does council wish to take any further action as to correspondence this evening?
Now I would like to accept the correspondence.
Thank you.
No second?
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Troy to accept the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Okay, motion carries, the correspondences are accepted. We'll move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have nothing under third readings, we have nothing under second reading. Under first reading, will the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 16-23.
Ordinance number 16-23, an ordinance to approve April 2023 replacement pages to the Port Clinton codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 16-23 this evening? Seeing none, ordinance 16-23 will move to its second reading at the next regular scheduled council meeting on June 13, 2023. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, resolution 23-6.
Resolution 23-6, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Port Clinton authorizing and providing for the incurrence of indebtedness for the purpose of providing a portion of the cost of acquiring, constructing, enlarging, improving, and/or extending its sewer collection facility to serve as an area lawfully within its jurisdiction to serve.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 23-6 this evening?
Madam President,
Mrs. Otis.
I move to amend resolution 23-6 to add before Ohio Revised Code, chapter 133 and chapter 717 of the.
Okay, I have a motion by, to amend resolution 23-6 by Ms. Hovis. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley to amend as stated to include the Ohio Revised Code as to resolution 23-6. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Kelly Gangle,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 23-6 is hereby amended. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 23-6?
Madam President?
Yes.
I move to adopt resolution 23.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, I move to waive the three required, the three readings.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley, to waive the three required readings as to resolution 23-6. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Kelly Gangle,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The three required readings as to resolution 23-6 are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 23-6?
Madam President,
Yes, Mrs. Hovis.
I move to adopt resolution 23-6.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley to adopt resolution 23-6. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Kelly Gangle,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 23-6 is hereby adopted by a vote of 7-0. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 23-7?
Resolution 23-7, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Port Clinton authorizing and providing for the incurrence of indebtedness for the purpose of providing a portion of the cost of acquiring, constructing, enlarging, improving, and/or extending its water distribution facility to serve an area lawfully within its jurisdiction to serve.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 23-7?
Madam President,
Mrs. Hovis.
I move to amend resolution 23-7 to add before Ohio Revised Code, chapter 133 and chapter 717 of the.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, or do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. I have a motion. Any discussion? I'm all frustrated. Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley to amend resolution 23-7 as to include the chapters for the Ohio Revised Code. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 23-7 is hereby amended. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 23-7?
Madam President,
Mrs. Hovis.
I move to waive the three required readings.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? I have a motion by Ms. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley to waive the three required readings as to resolution 23-7. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Richard Morgan. Kathy King,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The three required readings as to resolution 23-7 are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 23-7?
Madam President,
Yes, Ms.
And
Lewis.
move to adopt resolution 23-7.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley, to adopt resolution 23-7. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Terry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy Kane,
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yep.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Ellen Gangel. Yes. Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 23-7 is hereby adopted. We move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
Nothing here.
Mrs. Gangle.
Nothing for me.
Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. With what we heard about the money, we really can't say a whole lot of President. I mean, everything else seems minor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hovis.
I hope everybody has a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Looking forward to the parade. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley.
Yeah, just a few things. No, I'm kidding. I do have a couple of items. First off, I don't know if anybody drove by the beach last evening, but the Boy Scouts and their parents were out cleaning it up, and it was very impressive. I kind of stopped traffic, yelled out and said thank you a few times, but didn't get any beeps. The deduct program, can citizens still, if they buy a meter, can they still be involved in that, or
Yeah,
that
just
cut out?
call Julie and get it registered, you have to pay the $25.
Right, I just, okay. And my first term, quite a few years ago, I can remember getting notified of new businesses opening and thinking it was a real honor and a thrill to be involved in the ribbon cutting. And now I read about them on Facebook and have no idea what they're going on. I think council would like to know when there's going to be a ribbon cutting, so we can join. Remember how many we used to go to? I can't remember the last one that I went to.
We don't run them, it's all the children.
No, I understand, I'm just voicing my opinion.
Yeah, I'll mention that.
Mike,
But
has
I'll be
our-
honest with that, my assumption was that you guys are all copied on that
Oh,
email
no,
I
not
get,
at
so
all, not at all.
I'll make sure she adds you.
Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kane.
I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday weekend and congratulations again on getting that much in the grant. That's amazing.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilman.
Yeah, again, to echo what they said, thank you for the hard work on this and all the information Mr. Beadle presented is much appreciated. Nothing else, Madam President?
Okay. Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries, we're adjourned. Thank you.